She's pretty.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Overland podcast. We are live all of a sudden.
Surprise. All of a sudden.
Surprise, we're live. I'm going to kick us off on, there we go. We're on Instagram now, too. So, oh, man. It has been a couple weeks since we've been here. I've been on vacation with spring break. And Tony's just been working. He's just,
we didn't do anything for spring break.
In the mud. Not wanting to go anywhere type of guy. So, but we have a very special guest with us tonight. This is going to be really fun. So we've got Jessie with us from Feral Chick Outdoors. Jessie, welcome to the show.
Hello.
And for those who don't know, this is a live taping of a podcast. So a lot of people want to see what we look like. They just don't want to listen to us because we don't have radio voices. And I don't have that radio voice.
Well, I don't. You have it. You have the radio voice.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I actually sound like I've been smoking for the past 40 years. So it's just one of those things. I'm just not. I don't have a face for radio, nor do I have a voice.
Well, that's why you have me around.
Well, look at that.
Good looks and charms.
There is one of our top fans right there with us already.
Hey.
Arla says, "Hey, my girl Jessie."
What up, sister?
I don't know, Jessie, if you know this, but we will have some people that will be joining the show, and they can comment, and we'll put their comments upon the screen. And here is another one of our infamous listeners from long time.
Tate.
God.
Yes.
Hater.
Where's Patrick? Is he running on there?
Yeah, come here.
He spent half the weekend in the river, didn't he?
He did.
There he is.
Oh my goodness, he's like. This is torture, Mom. Put me down.
He's like, what is this? What am I staring
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Well, it has been a crazy last couple of weeks because I had to plan a whole trip to the Smokies with my wife. We were going out there for spring break. We were both out at the same time on spring break, and we actually decided to be domesticated this time. We didn't live in a van down by the river. We didn't live in the FJ like we normally did. We actually got a house, or I say a house. It was more
Airbnb or
it was a cabin. I got on Hip Camp, and this place was in the middle of nowhere. It was so cool. We had like a half a bar. Cell phone service has not been discovered out there. Couldn't make a call and order a pizza. It was nice. We got to do a few things, and then we went to Lynchburg. Got to live in the city for a couple of days, so that was really fun. But here we are back again, back in the studios, and glad to see everybody, and glad everybody is here. Joining us, the Gen Xers. Oh, man. Hope y'all are doing well. Oh, and look, we have the Big Daddy Poppy Pokey Overland on here. I have more dreams about Kyle than anybody.
I was hoping they were going to know this.
Well, you never know with Kyle. It's sometimes, he doesn't do technology sometimes. So
you never know.
I'm sure Tate's helping him. They're there.
Yeah, I'm sure Kyle's texting Tate and said, "How do we get on this show? I don't know how to do
this. How do I say something?"
Hey, we could send him the link and have him come on.
Let's don't.
No.
Okay. No. There's only so much room on the screen, and his head is humongous. And so let's don't do that. But hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. We're live. We're going to be right back. Thank you for watching or listening to the Overland Podcast. We're excited to be here. We're coming to you live as we do each week, bringing you the latest in all things outdoors and overlanding. The live show contains listeners, so join us with your comments and questions. Here we go. No pros, just bros on this show. Well, it's not just bros tonight. We actually have a lady in the house, so we got to mind our manners and watch what we say and be nice and all that good stuff. So Tate says his words literally, where do I find it?
See?
And Kyle says, I hope your brakes go out. Michael Hyden's joining us all the way from Alaska, the northernmost state in the Union.
I wonder how much snow he's got on the ground.
I bet it's a lot. It's a lot. Even though it is almost April, he does have a lot of snow on the ground. It's pretty cool. We got quite a few watching on Instagram, so that's pretty cool. And if you are watching on Instagram, we cannot get your comments live on the show. So just so you know that, don't get your feelings hurt if we can't pop them up on the screen. We can only do that from Facebook and the YouTube. So Jessie, thank you for joining us. Y'all had a big weekend this weekend. It looked like there were like 1,000 ladies. It was amazing. That was so cool. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I kind of posted this up on a whim thinking, oh, we'll probably have, 4 or 5 rigs want to show up, and they just kept coming. And I finally had to say, you know what, I'm not gonna be able to handle any more than 10, but they just kept coming and I can't say no. So we ended up with a total of 14 rigs and had 21 women on board. And it was a great weekend.
That's cool.
It was a great weekend.
That is awesome. So tell us about your rig. I found a picture of it on your Facebook. I want to show everybody what you drive and make sure that they know, if they see you on the road, that they know what you're driving. So this is what I found.
Oh my God.
So if y'all see Jessie,
make sure you wave
around
hi to
town,
Jessie.
No, I'm just kidding. I did see that on your Facebook, and I thought, I wonder if everybody thinks that's what she drives. That's pretty funny. No, this is it. This is it right here. You actually have a name for your Jeep.
It is. Yeah, I have a name. It's called Bougie on a Budget.
Okay.
Because that's how we live in life.
Yeah.
Bougie on a Budget. I've got my Feral Chick Outdoors on the side, and it's pretty. A lot of people comment on it because it has a stripper pole dancing Sasquatch.
See that? See that?
Yeah.
Pole dancing Sasquatch.
I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty awesome. So
instant classic. Yep.
Yeah. Right.
I love it.
But yeah, I've got a 2016 JKU. We're running 37s on it with a 4-inch lift. I've got a Smitty built rack with the 23-0 Kabari on it. Then we've got a 270, and we just bought the Kestrel a few weeks ago and got the Kestrel on board. I had the boys at Okie Overland outfit me with a custom set of drawers in the back. So that's been a new addition, like within the last few weeks. Not quite complete yet, but it's pretty close.
Yeah. Was this the first trip out with the drawers?
It was my second trip. The last polar bear camp out was the first one.
Gotcha.
So we're still trying to get stuff figured out before they get everything nailed down completely.
How did you like the setup in the back? And did it make a big difference for you?
Oddly enough, it did. Kyle has been on to me for months about doing this. You need drawers. And I was just like, I don't really need drawers. But I finally let him do it, and I'm actually kind of glad he did. I hate to say that.
We'll edit that out.
Even bigger.
We'll edit it out where we don't.
But did it now. But we do have quite a bit more room back there now. So once we can get the diesel heater out, it'd be smooth sailing. I could probably almost put that back seat back up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Drawers are huge.
Oh,
being able to leave everything in its place and say it again.
Organized.
That's right.
Kyle loves organization, and I think he dreams about organization and how he can make everybody's life a little easier. And I have dreams about Kyle doing that. So
yeah,
it's weird.
It is.
Well,
that kind
he
of
can do it.
Yeah,
they can get it done.
They do. And I didn't know Kyle that well a year or two ago, and then when I saw him doing all this stuff in people's rigs, I'm like, wow, I never saw that coming.
Yeah, right.
Because if you know Kyle, you're like, he can do something like that.
He can do that. Yeah, you guys should see the bumper, my rear bumper. The swing arm fell off of it back in January going down the road. The best we can figure is that the lock mechanism failed, and then I hit a bump and it caused everything to open, and it just crashed down, took everything down with it. And their weld jobs and stuff, they refabbed it back up for me because I didn't want to buy a new one, and they've done a great job. They rebuilt the whole spindle and the new lock and put a backup on it and everything else. So it looks great.
It's impressive. I've been very impressed with what they've been able to turn out, and they're staying busy, and we're excited about that because
those two are like brothers to me.
Yeah, they are. And Kyle and Casey are some super, super cool people, and so excited for Casey getting a teaching job, and her and my wife kind of clicked because they got to talk teaching. And
she came this weekend. I was really proud of her.
Yeah, I saw that. Her and the daughter came.
Did you see the video of Casey whenever she plowed through that mud hole and the wave came over the hood?
She was so proud of herself. She talked about that for 30 minutes after. Jesse, she radioed. Jesse,
that was awesome.
Jesse, there was
I
blood
was
over
like,
the hood.
yeah, I was wishing I was a fly on the wall whenever Kyle saw that.
Yeah, me too. I bet he was like, well, I'm gonna have to fix that when she gets home.
She did text me and she said Kyle said he'd wash the Jeep.
Yeah, I saw that. Kyle said he had washed the Jeep. He was so proud of her. Yeah, that's so cool. Well, Jesse, tell us about this Feral Chick Outdoors. How did that start? Where was this born at, and why?
Well, as much as I hate to keep referencing him at this point because I know he's watching, one day I was at the shop and Kyle just looked at me and he's like, "Do you know how feral you are?" And I was just like, "No." And we've been starting to go on these adventures and all that kind of stuff. And I just kind of wanted to find a way to, at first, just kind of organize it. Of course, you have Facebook, but I was just looking to see if there was any other women that were more interested in this. So I sat on it for a few weeks and came up with Feral Chick Outdoors, and that's kind of where it's been. So far, it's just been kind of sitting idle, I guess, for a while. And I finally decided to actually utilize it. And I think that the way that I'm going to try to utilize it is going to be pretty epic based off this first event, I guess, that we held last weekend. So
good. Well, that's awesome. I wanted to ask you kind of what your plans were. Were kind of what you had dreamed. If all your dreams could come true in the next year, where would you see Feral Chick Outdoors?
Man,
if you want to give it away.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I really just want to have a safe space, I guess, for women to be able to go outdoors and to utilize their equipment and not have a man, I'm going to use the term nagging at them because they're not doing it their way. I've learned that there's more than one way to skin a cat. Lance and I do things way different when we go camping. His way's not any better. It may be easier, but to me, my way's easier. And I just wanted to create that space for them to do that, to have the support that they need to not fail, because if they fail, then they're done. But if they have enough support without being told what to do, then they're more likely to continue to use that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I want to do, is just give them an opportunity to, take their husband's rigs or whatever, their own rigs, and get out and just get out and do more.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, that is really cool. And my wife is one of those that she doesn't want me doing everything. She's like, teach me how to do this. I want to learn how to do this because, we've had conversations before. Okay, even if we are out together and I get hurt,
something happens. It's like, what is she going to do? She needs to be able to efficiently and effectively get everything ready to roll to get you out to wherever it is you need to go next.
Right. Even if you're teaching them how to use the Garmin to make a 911 call or anything like that, from start to finish, want to know everything. And that's kind of the way my wife does it. So that's
trying to get out of the sunshine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got several people that are watching that went on the trip this past weekend. Did you plan everything from start to finish on that, the route and all that?
I did. Yeah. It's a route that we kind of accidentally stumbled upon. We went out to the Ozarks about a year ago. We kind of accidentally stumbled upon this route, and I vaguely remembered it. So we went out the weekend before. So it was the weekend of the Jasper Jeep Jam. We went out and scouted everything, and I made sure that we had the route picked out, and then I had multiple campsites picked out because I knew this was going to be a big group, and I knew that was going to be the biggest challenge. Fortunately, good old girls over at Lady Overlander Radio, Misty and Arla, they decided that they would help me out. So they got some of the spots early to make sure that we at least had somewhere to camp that night. They, of course, ran tail for me. They ran in the middle for me. So they were a really big help to me this weekend.
They're good. And they're really, I'm kind of not coming up with the word right now because I played Wordle and that's the only word I use for the day. But it's they're proponents and they're really champions for ladies doing their own thing. So
they absolutely are.
That's really awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, they were a big help this weekend for sure.
I saw that they posted that they're doing a camp out in October, so make sure that you go to Lady Overlander Radio and check that out, because mark that on your calendars if you're a female and you want to go camping with a bunch of girls who think along the same lines as you and will teach you and you can learn from each other. That'll be something cool to do. So, what's on the next for the docket for Feral Chick Outdoors?
Oh man, I don't know. I've had so many messages. I made a post about it in the Natural State Overlander group is what I think it is. And it's got like almost 500 likes on it. And my message has honestly been blowing up since we got back. Um, I don't know. I would like to probably do something in May before it gets too hot. But there's a lot happening. There's more coming up, and bonfires coming up, and there's a lot kind of happening right in that general area. So I'm not real sure. I would like to try to get one more in though before it gets too muggy and whatnot over that way.
Well, good.
Nice.
Well, people can go to your page, which is Feral Chick Outdoors, which is on Facebook. Do you have any other places that people can follow you and learn about what you're doing?
Not that I really keep up with it. I'm on TikTok. There's quite a few things on TikTok on there. Same thing, Feral Chick Outdoors. I'm on Instagram, but I'm not on it a whole lot. I probably should get better at that, to be honest. But pretty much just Facebook.
Yeah, I understand. Nice. Facebook's where it's at. That's where most people our age are.
Right.
If they're young, I talk to the kids at school all the time, and they're like,
they on the gram.
Yeah,
they on the gram these days.
Only my grandpa uses Facebook.
Facebook is almost like the new MySpace.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's where we all go to learn anything. So that's so cool. Well, you're getting a lot of compliments on here. Missy said you rocked it as a trail leader. That's cool. Did you have any any concerns or anything like that that came up during the trail run?
There was a water crossing on the one road that we took, which was 1410 road, which is kind of up from Hawksbill Crag a little bit. Mm-hmm. The first water crossing down through there, that was my third time to do that route. And I know that when you go off, you're going to fall off onto a rock and you're going to pop right back up. Like, it's that fast. Get in, you fall in the rock, you pop back up. But I knew that there were some girls that hadn't done water crossings before in this group, and there were some girls that had some stock rigs. And when we had went the weekend before doing all of our scouting, it wasn't anything terrible, but I knew some of those girls were going to lose their gourds when they dropped off that rock. So I was super concerned about that at first. I made sure that I had them like in a row, like where I needed them. Like, there was a friend of mine that went. We've been friends for a long time. Her name's Jana. She went out on her inaugural trip with her Jeep that came with a rooftop tent and all that stuff. It's her first trip out with it ever. It's fully bone stock, and so I made sure she was behind me. So if I had to walk across the river and get in with her, I could. And there was lots of encouragement from Misty and Arla on the end and all the other women that were there for a lot of them, because like I said, there were several that was their first time to do a water crossing of any kind. So but it ended up not being anything. It was 4 times lower than it was the week before, thank goodness.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And so everybody just scooted on across it really well.
That's nice. Good. Well, there's a certain feeling that you get that goes from your neck down to your ankles when the water comes over the hood.
Yes.
And I've felt that feeling several times before, and you don't forget it. And
it
was
funny because Jana said, her friend of hers was like, okay, well, make sure when you get to here that you like unbutton your seatbelt and da 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 da. And I'm like, good Lord, what do you think I'm doing with her?
Oh my goodness!
Everything went smoothly. Everything I did was, I would say, was a fairly moderate beginner trail. But nobody had any major instances of, woes or whatnot. It doesn't sounds like everybody had a really great time.
Yeah.
We had great food, so can't complain.
Good. How did y'all do the food? Did you have one person cook all the food, or did everybody cook their own and throw in and do a buffet, or what?
I'm a firm believer that food brings people together.
Yeah.
If you ever camp with me, there's a good chance we're cooking for more than just ourselves.
Yeah.
But we did a potluck, tacos. We did a taco potluck basically Friday night. So everybody brought things to do different sorts of tacos with. We had mahi-mahi, fresh from Hawaii. Somebody brought some chicken, somebody bought beef, and then everybody bought fixins. We had some sopapilla cheesecakes. So Friday night was a fiesta. And then Saturday night, we ended up just kind of eating leftovers and snacks. It was kind of like a charcuterie type thing. And then Sunday morning, Misty and I were kind of on the same wavelength, and we had both brought stuff to do French toast with Hawaiian rolls.
She just said the French toast.
Yet, you need to.
Yeah.
So we cooked a big batch of French toast and bacon and sausage and eggs and whatever else we had, and had a buffet.
Yeah, Arla said that mahi-mahi was so good.
It really was. It was super fresh, and she had made like a cilantro, lime, ranch something or other, and it was delicious.
Yeah. What did I send?
Oh, Casey's now on here. She's on here to defend herself now.
Oh,
she must have took the phone away from Kyle and got on here herself. But Casey, she was talking about how you sent it through the water crossing. I'm pretty sure that's what you sent.
Yeah,
there was a big mud puddle, is what it was.
Mud puddle, yeah, it's a mud puddle.
She said you can't.
Which Kyle said it took him $50 to wash the car.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I think it's a little dramatic.
Kyle's not dramatic. He's
well,
not
I love the idea about the potluck. You know, we've done several events with Go Explore where I do all the cooking for everybody, and it's so much more fun when everybody brings their own take or their spin on whatever they want to eat. So I love
that. That one time we camped up in Missouri when Rhino was there. It's the first time I met Joe and Misty, and we had such a wide variety of stuff that it was like completely unplanned.
Oh, we had everything from crab boil to pizza. I mean, it was just everything across the board.
That's kind of how it was Saturday night. You know, we had cheese balls and we had leftover sopapilla cheesecakes and we had I don't even know what we had. It was nice. Nobody really cooked anything Saturday night.
Yeah, that's funny.
I have Tate. That's my cook.
Yeah, well, if you can have Tate go with you on every camp, that's actually pretty good. So
he cooked the salmon bowls again for
Listen, y'all need to quit talking about those salmon bowls. I miss out on them every time.
Oh my gosh, it was
Tate-made salmon bowl.
So good. It was
and all
so
I keep hearing about is how delicious they are.
Yes.
That and sometimes he makes this like seafood kind of Cajun dip or something. He's made that a few times. I've missed out every time too. Every time I roll up, there's like it is tiniest little bite left.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, just people are just on here just going crazy with salmon balls.
The salmon bowls, man, it's stupid. And
is it bowls or balls?
It's
bowls
or balls? It's bowls. It's a bowl of rice with salmon
and the fixin' like kale and whoever knows what else puts on
there.
Yeah.
Missy
they break up the edamame, put those edamame beans and whatever in there.
Yeah.
And he makes his own sauce. There's some sort of joke about Kyle made the sauce all night or something. I don't know.
Gosh.
It was awful.
Thank you, Kyle, for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Talk about we like the male salmon. Male salmon tastes better.
So Tate cooks the salmon.
Salmon.
Do you call it salmon or salmon?
It's not salmon.
It's
salmon.
It's salmon.
Salmon.
See, Arla calls it salmon.
That's not right.
Gosh.
No, she
doesn't. Part of snacks?
She absolutely hates it whenever somebody calls it salmon.
Oh my god.
So waiting for her to come.
She's gonna come in there and slap you.
Have you guys been down to Hagerville yet?
No, for the sandwich. For the sandwich shop?
Yeah.
Right there, she says, "No, I don't." No, I haven't had a sandwich there.
You're missing out.
Yeah.
You're straight up missing out. Dare I say, I like it better than OARC. I would eat at Hagerville any day of the week over OARC.
Really?
For sure. Huh. You can't beat the pies at OARC, but those sandwiches are bomb.
So is it the same place that's got the gas pump? Like one little gas pump there?
It does have a gas pump.
Okay.
Yeah, it does have a little gas pump right there in Hagerville. Yeah, Hagerville Grocery or something.
I have been there, but I didn't realize I didn't buy a sandwich there. Just the one time I was there.
If you ever go there and he's got the coleslaw, I'm super weird about coleslaw, but man, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
I like some good coleslaw.
I do too. Have you been to Ozone? The new Burger Barn?
We were gonna go last weekend when we were there, but we ran into a little old man. We kind of found this other waterfall, and I don't remember what 4290 road I think it was. There was a waterfall that you could drive up to, and there's a little local man over there, and he said, there ain't nothing there anymore. But I thought there was like a food truck or something.
They've got a food truck there, and they're fixing up one of the houses there that's got like everything's like on a skew. The windows are purposely.
Yeah, there's nothing level, not a thing level in Ozone.
Well, I mean, this house is built that way, and they're doing I guess some sort of Airbnb out of it or something. but they're getting ready to build on the other side of the parking lot from where the building originally was, a building with an outdoor space. But the burger was so good there.
Was it? We'll have to go back for sure.
Yeah. But they don't open till noon. So if you show up.
And they're only open till like 3.
Yeah. That's not long.
Yeah.
It's not long. So, and you got to eat outside. There's no place inside. So you got to eat in your car or you got to eat outside.
Well, that ain't too bad.
Usually eat outside all weekend anyway.
Right.
So that's no big deal.
Oh my goodness. We just started out with a bang. I'll tell you what, so much information. My brain is fried. We're going to have to take a break.
All right.
Y'all ready to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
We're going to pause for station identification. We'll be back in about 46 seconds.
The Overland podcast is proudly supported by Timbo Tusk, Shop Overland Apparel, Okie Overland, We Boost, Zero Breeze, Steadfast Overland, The Overland Shower by Adventure Trail Outfitters, Snap Mounts, Blackbeard Fire Starters, X Beyond 360, Logic Overland Coffee, MC Ranch Overland, Moreflate, Midland Radio, Northbound Expeditions, in cooperation with Natural State Overland, Go Explore USA, Jasper Jeep Jam and Overlanding Rally, and Overland of America Expo. We also support nonprofit organizations such as Blue Line Overland and Warriors in the Wild.
And I just want to point out one of our sponsors is Logic Overland. They have the best coffee in the world. They just came out with their new Burn Ban Billy big bags. So Burn Ban Billy was only available in trail packs, and now Burn Ban Billy you can get actually in a big pack. We actually got the first 2 of these, and I'm excited because I'm gonna drink it tomorrow. Hadn't even busted open yet, but by gosh, it's gonna come tomorrow.
Joey, so do you drink coffee, Jesse?
I do.
Yeah. Like, are you an all day or just a morning coffee or?
Usually morning. After about noon, I think I'm ready for some water.
Yeah.
Unless it's cold. Yeah. If it's cold, I'll drink something in the afternoon.
I got my water.
I rarely drink coffee after 11. Rarely.
In the morning or in the evening?
Yeah, in the morning. Joey drinks coffee right before he goes to bed.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the way that it works. In the morning when I need to wake up, coffee's black. Nothing in it. Got to get me going. First cup's always black. Second cup comes about 9 o'clock. A little bit of creamer. Got a little bit of creamer, and that's like my chilling out, like sipping, almost like sipping whiskey type stuff. I love it.
I gotta have mine macchiato style. Vanilla, caramel, milk.
What? That's not coffee.
Yeah.
That's creamer.
No.
Add a shot.
Coffee.
That's right.
Add a shot.
So Misty wants to know. Misty wants to know, Jesse, what is your favorite camp meal?
Oh man! So
and
we have
don't say salmon bowls.
Salmon bowls.
No, those are out.
So we actually have a trail fire grill, and that has been one of my favorite things that we've purchased. If you don't know what that is, you can use it as a propane fire pit, or you can use it as a grill, and then it comes with like a wok that you can cook in with the wok.
I got
one.
And
so there ain't nothing that we ain't cooked in that thing. I absolutely love it. But my favorite meal is honestly at camp, we eat a lot of steak and hibachi style vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'll do egg roll in a bowl with some ramen noodles.
Rum punch. Is there a story here? Rum punch?
So I thought it would be nice to do rum punch on Saturday night. We could all sit around the fire and have a few drinks and whatnot. But we Kyle has this big like rough country jug, like kind of like an old, the Coleman style jugs.
Yeah.
And I might have made it a little strong because I added an entire bottle of Tito's.
Oh my gosh, a whole bottle?
Oh yeah. It's a whole bottle.
But it's a big jug. It's like a 5-gallon jug.
It's like a big 3-gallon jug, right?
Yeah.
Maybe at least 3 gallons.
Tony.
It's this big.
How big is your jug, Tony?
It's this big. It's a huge jug.
It was bigger than the bowl of punch you guys had at Jeep Jam at Jasper. And I put the whole bottle of Tito's in there, and it ended up being a little like gasoline, but we drank it.
Yeah.
Well,
at least nobody went to sleep with a full beer in their pocket.
That's good. Correct.
And I'm sure everybody slept well.
That's right.
Everybody slept really well.
We were right by the Big Piney Creek, and so we had the river running all night. We had like the primo spot. It was great.
So who snores the worst?
Oh, I don't know.
Arla.
I had a diesel heater going,
Arla.
so I couldn't hear anything.
Arla was inside her Jeep. There's no way. I doubt anybody
there's a
heard
way.
her.
There's a way.
I mean,
if you were inside your Jeep, I could hear you.
Well,
I didn't hear.
Kyle says Casey's the worst, and Casey says that Arla's the worst. I love it. Everybody, Arla said, "I heard me."
I heard me.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Well, hey, that means she slept good. And we were talking about Arla with her new setup, sleeping inside of her Jeep. So I'm glad that she got good rest.
Yeah,
she seemed like she seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah,
she was packed up quicker than any of us.
Well, so when she got home, I enjoyed hearing her talk about how the first night she froze her rear off. She said, but
it was cold.
She was like, but the next night, I layered up. I did some things different, and it was fine. Like she enjoyed it. Maybe it wasn't quite as cold, but she still,
it wasn't quite as cold
learned,
the second night.
She adapted. Yeah.
We were pretty fortunate. We had a really good windbreak Friday night, which was good, but it woke up. I didn't even go hike Hawksbill. It was just too cold.
Yeah.
Too cold.
Hmm.
So Casey did it though. She's probably gonna come back and be like, da. She was so mad at me.
Yeah.
I told her I was gonna go hike it, and then I didn't.
Oh yeah, she did say she got tired of watching Arla struggle putting another pair of socks on, so she went and put her socks on for her. Yeah. So Casey, tell us what the hike was like. Did you enjoy it? Who on here went on the hike, and what they think?
Yeah,
I think Casey's the only one that I've seen on that actually did go. Her and Lainey, and there was a couple other girls that went with them, but I don't think they're on here. But let me just say for reference that Casey doesn't like to hike. Step 1.
Yeah.
Step 2, I did tell them that the last quarter mile coming out of there is gonna be tough.
Yeah,
it is.
It was awful. It's a great view, and the only time I went, I didn't have the right shoes on, and I went anyway. Me and my daughter, and I thought we were going to have to call for a helicopter before I got out of there because that was not.
I love it.
I was going to try to get him to hike up Pam's Grotto, but we kind of ran out of time, and I think everybody was kind of hiked out after that one. And that was a tough hike. I don't know if you guys have ever been back up there to Pam's Grotto, but
no, I haven't.
It's a straight climb. I mean, it's a goat climb up there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is. And that's, Casey says that's the best view ever. That's really hard to argue with it up there.
It really
is,
especially
on a beautiful day. Yeah.
Don't we know somebody that proposed out there? Was it the Waters?
I think it was the Waters.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought somebody proposed. Yeah.
Be a great spot.
Yeah.
Right. It'd be a great spot.
Be a great spot for it.
Oh, and by the way, today marks 2 years since I proposed to my wife on the Go Explore trip when Tony videoed it. That was 2 years ago today.
Nice.
Adorable.
Or was it a year ago?
No, it was a year ago.
It was a year ago today.
Yeah, it was 1 year ago today.
Man, time flies.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, it was last year today, on the last day of the Go Explore trip when I proposed to my wife, and we got married like 3 months later. So.
I said you guys got married pretty quick because I remember Colin Tate going over to your wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
they all came.
Yeah.
Man, you better get that lined out. They coming.
Yeah. I'm not good with dates. So anyway, she knows it. Is there anything? So looking back now, in retrospect, to this first big trip that you had, is there anything that you would have changed? Anything now that you can look back? You've taken some notes. You've taken it all in. You've slept a couple nights. Anything that you would change? Anything that you different that you might be for the next time?
Honestly, no. I mean, it could not have gone any better or any smoother than I could have hoped for. In fact, it probably made me a little bit overconfident because something one time will happen and then I'll be like, crap. But that
happens to everybody. Sometimes,
for sure.
At some point, you're going to have something.
Well, everything went well for you. You had really good weather. You didn't have like pour downs.
Nope.
On the trip that we had a year ago when I proposed, we had a absolute flood. And so that was
That
that
probably made
was
it
a
tough.
big wrench
Yeah.
that threw something in there. So you
Yeah,
had a lot
we
of things that went right. So
couldn't have asked for a better weekend to do it. And like I said, with the help that I ended up receiving, which I wasn't expecting, that made it so much easier. And it was just an all around great weekend. I think the best part of it though was watching these women, which I knew most of them. There was only a handful that I didn't know that came, and it was really cool to watch them all essentially like come together. And it was literally like one big sisterhood by Sunday when we all left.
yeah,
Everybody had taught
That's
somebody
awesome.
something, or they had learned something from somebody else, or learned the way that they do something. And I think that was really the coolest part to watch, was that everybody literally came together, and it was like one big community by the time Sunday rolled around.
that's good.
Nice.
What was a typical day like? So if somebody's out there, they're listening, download this podcast, they're listening because they heard about this. What was a
Yeah.
typical day like? Starting on whenever y'all left, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What was a typical day like?
So Friday, I had to work. Friday was kind of a cluster for me. I had to work for a little while, so and the boys had my Jeep because they were finishing up my bumper at Okie. So I have a little Renegade that I bop around in because it gets 26 miles to the gallon, right?
Yeah.
And I had gone to my last stop that I needed to drop something off at for the day, and I had Patrick with me because we're getting ready to go. Well, he locks me out of my Renegade. I had to call Papa Lock.
Oh no.
So that was starting off great. Then I get
Good
there,
job,
and
Patrick.
of course, if you have messed with the boys, of course we waited, and we left about 3:30 or so. I wanted to leave about 3, so that wasn't too bad. I wasn't complaining. I had 4 or 5 girls follow me on out that way. We got stuck behind an intoxicated driver just on the other side of Springdale, and it was bad enough that he had shut the highway down, and I was driving down the middle of the highway to make sure nobody passed us while I was on the phone with 911 telling him crossroads and this and that and everything that was going on. So it was a little hectic getting over
Wow.
there. We were ready for a drink. But Friday night we got in. It was right at dark, just about. A lot of the ladies were already there set up. So we got everybody there, made sure everybody was set up for the night, hung out. We ended up doing taco bar about 8:30, 9 o'clock, a little bit late, but that's all right. We got up the next morning. Everybody was kind of up by like 8 or 9. The ones that did go hike, I kind of set a time frame, and I said, I need you guys back by noon, and we need to be ready to roll. So they went and they hiked, and I think the last group got back like 11:45, and then we took off onto the trail. And we trailed till probably 3 o'clock, I think is what time it took us to get over there, because we started down this 1410, and that's over by Dixon Ford is where you kind of come out at over that way. So we came out there, we took the highway over to Car Wash Falls Road, and then we basically decided to just kind of hit the first camp spot that we found, which we got lucky, and it was that big sandbar. If you guys have been down Car Wash Falls recently, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I know that spot. Yep.
And so the funny part was that we had gotten there, and there was a family eating lunch, and I thought, man, I hope they're not camping. And so I drove over there and I asked them if they were camping, and they're like, no, we're just here for lunch. And I was like, perfect. I said, listen, I've got a really big group. I'm fixing to pull them in. We're not going to crowd you. We're not rushing you. You guys stay as long as you want, but we're camping here tonight. And he was like, okay, no problem. So I just had the girls just kind of park wherever. And we had all this space to spread out. And then we didn't. We all stayed really clustered together, which was actually kind of funny. There was a group of side-by-sides that pulled up. That's kind of the funny story of the weekend, I guess. This group of side-by-sides pulled up shortly after we got there. I don't even think we were all finished parking yet. And they got out, and of course they'd been, drinking and whatnot. And there were these 2 older guys, and they were standing over there, and I was just chit-chatting with them or whatever. And this one looks at him, he said, whatever his name is, there's not a guy with them. They're all women. There's nothing but women. And I said, boys, you bet. Not a wiener one. We are all here. We're here doing it. He said, I can't believe it. So they had to like take a group picture with us and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome. Y'all got to take a group picture with a couple old guys.
Yeah, he was just so surprised that this group of women was out here rolling up to the Ozark National Forest all by the lonesomes. But anyway, we shut down like at 3 o'clock. We all just kind of hung out, got set up, relaxed, got the fire going about dark. And then Sunday, we just kind of got up whatever we did. I didn't rush anybody on Sunday. We had breakfast about 9, and we rolled out probably 11:30, somewhere in there.
I like it. Relaxed. Yeah. It's so that I love that you only wheeled for about 3 hours in a large group like that.
Yep.
Because a lot of times in a large group like that, if you stop and take pictures at every water crossing and
It
do all
takes
this
forever.
stuff, it seems like it takes
forever.
forever. And that turns a lot of people off. And,
It does.
that's one of the things that my wife has commented about large group settings. And she's like, it just takes forever when people want a picture of every single one that goes through the water. So
yeah,
that's
and
cool.
I did it a little bit differently. Like on that first water crossing, for example, I went ahead and shot across. I set my phone up on video, and then I backed up so we could all get everybody going across. And then I can go back and still shot that, or they can still shot it as they're coming across that way. So I tried to keep that somewhat efficient. Same way with like Car Wash Falls when we came up to it. I went ahead and went through, which I've already been through there, so I didn't need a photo myself. And then I videoed everybody going through and got pictures of them and stuff like that. That way everything kept moving.
I love the drone shot of y'all crossing there by south of Car Wash. Yeah, that was a great shot. I love that.
I don't know if Misty had her drone out and got some good shots of us at camp Saturday night. I don't know if she ended up getting the video or not, but at one point I was going to the bathroom and I looked up and she's just droning like right above me. So there's maybe footage of me on the old Kestrel.
Yeah.
But
tell them the drone
we were
story.
going across. Casey said, "Tell them the drone story." So we were going across that water crossing, and I had my drone thrown up in the air, and I was trying to hurry because I felt like it was taking me forever. By the time you get it set up to the remote and get the remote on and get I had left the case, the bag or whatever on my fender. And so we're going across the water crossing, and I'm already across it. And all of a sudden, I hear somebody on the radio say, "Jesse, something fell off your Jeep." And I'm like, "Great, what now?" And then I realized that it was the bag, and they were like, "Do we need to stop?" And I'm like, "No, don't ruin the shot. Keep going."
Oh, yeah.
So, the drone was in the air. I had the remote. Everything else is replaceable at this point, right?
Right.
So then I had to go back out there and go back and get my bag, which luckily stayed in one spot. So I got out and drove my Jeep out there and ended up having to jump out in the water and pick the bag up. My battery pack may be shot, but that's all right. Worth it.
Worth it. Yeah. That's awesome. I think when we were at, where was that? Where was the third? No, it was the second. Where was the Arkansas edition of the Polar Bear Camp Club? It was at the
Gypsy Camp?
It was a Gypsy Camp.
Gypsy camp?
My wife was in. She was going to the bathroom in our little thing, privacy tent, and somebody flew a drone right over the top of her, and she was like, "I'm pretty sure they just saw me going." And I was like, "Oh,
oh well."
Yeah, OnlyFans drone edition. That's what Miss said.
Right.
OnlyFans drone edition.
That's right.
Well, they don't make many of those things with covers on them, so you just take a chance every time you go in there and pull your pants.
And who wants to actually have to put the cover on? Come on. Unless it's
raining. Too long.
Unless it's raining.
Too long. I see them with the cover and the floors and all this. I was like, who wants to do all that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just smile and wave. Just smile.
Yeah, that's right. Jesse, I don't know if you saw, but Casey said you need to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Which part?
Not a wiener one.
Not a wiener
one. Yeah, it needs to be a T-shirt. And I think that'd be a
great group logo.
Yes.
T-shirt.
Yeah. Cool.
I think every one of those girls are ready to go back by the sounds of it. And then, like I said, with the messages and stuff, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, so and another thing, I think Arla posted early on, Lady Overlander Radio. They're trying to sort of get something the same weekend as Bonfire for Friday night. So
yeah, that's what
Friday
she
night
said.
and wheeled at Bonfire. So
anyway, cool.
But they're. She and I think I talked to him earlier today or yesterday, and they said they were going to try to limit it. So I think the response is, I think this is going to build momentum just for on the women's aspect of things, and it's kind of one of those. I think we better buckle up if we're going to keep up with this because it could get pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree because there's a lot of interest out there. There's
for sure.
It's a lot of people, even a lot of ladies, even if they don't have their own rig, who's interested in just learning, even if they just learn. How to do it and what to do. So
we had several girls ground tent camp. We had several girls camp out of their vehicles. They were camping all different kinds of ways this weekend, and they made it work. And that's the whole point, right? Get out, make it work.
It is the whole point, and we've preached that since day one. Since we've had this, in the 7 seasons we've been doing that. You never know until you go.
That's right.
And you just got to get out there and go.
You figure it out when you get out there. Jump in both feet and figure it out on the way.
Now, we're not telling you not to go buy Okie Overland and buy everything in the store because you can do that if you want to.
If you want.
Encourage that. But you don't have to do that. Just go. Take what you got.
Just go. Yeah.
You're
just go and buy half. You don't have to buy everything. Just buy half of what you need.
Well, you can buy everything if you want.
Yeah.
They'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
Won't drive the soccer mom van.
Casey said that she did mention this weekend that she was going to need her own Jeep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. They're getting.
Casey may be getting an upgrade from the soccer mom
She's
van.
I'm
about 100% sure they're getting rid of their van because Kyle mentioned something about it last week. He was talking about wanting to get a full-size truck to pull a trailer or something. So.
Yeah.
She may be
if they want to start
taking
the kids, especially with summer coming on, and if they take both kids, it's going to take 2 tents. So.
Yep. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. So this is what you're going to face, Jesse. This is what you're going to face with so much success in the first trip. How do you keep that going?
Exactly. How do you keep the momentum?
And I know that you've got all these ladies that are here. They want to go. I don't think they care. They just want to go.
They just want to go.
But I know you feel the pressure of wanting to do it as big or as good or have the same success. So how are you going to work on that? What's going to keep you going?
I think at this point, based off just the type of people that I had on this trip, I'm just going to try to keep it to beginner style, beginner friendly trails. It was about half and half on the hike. So that might not be something that we do next time. Maybe we go try to find a waterfall that we can, maybe very easily hike to versus something that's, a 3-hour hike.
Yeah.
But I think the momentum on it, I'm just going to have to sit down. And I told some girls this week that I was going to sit down and try to get something planned out. And I think that's really just going to be the next move is just keep it coming. And like I said, just easy to moderate stuff. Just get them out, just get them outside, get them going, get them started somewhere. And I'm totally fine with that. I don't have to climb waterfalls and climb rock walls and things like that. I'm totally fine taking car wash falls every time if I have to.
Scenic roads to a nice secluded camp every time.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, there's so the good thing about Arkansas is there's so many options.
There's so many, and there's so many areas.
There's so many areas, and there's so many levels of expertise. You could do an expert trip. You can do a beginner trip. You can break it down into that, and as the years go on. And people get more experience, and you have that group of 5 or 6 that go on every trip.
With you
can step it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's cool. I love that you're coming across to me as really wanting to just get girls out there. That's your goal.
Absolutely.
And not to become famous or anything like that. That's not the goal. It's the goal is to get girls out there, and I love that.
She's already famous, so.
I know that. Well, yeah, I know that.
Now it's just focus on the trips.
That's why we have her on the show. We're trying to boost our ratings. I mean, come on. So, yeah.
But that's the goal. I don't really have I was a part of some Jeep groups when I first got the Jeep and did the whole Jeep thing, and that's just not really their idea of like off-roading and things like that are just way different than mine, and that's how I kind of got stuck into the overlanding area, and then I met Kyle and Casey and all them, and it's just kind of blossomed from there. And I want to see more women be comfortable, and I'm not saying that I have to go out to the Ozarks by myself. Like, that's not why I'm doing this. And I'm not saying that I want to do this because I don't need no man. If Lance is going with me, he's like opening that tent and doing all those things that I can't do unless I got to call on the bumper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's nice to be able to go out with a group of women and that are like-minded and have, just an easygoing weekend where we just camp. Do some trails.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I love it. Well, we're excited about it, and we love it. We are huge supporters of the ladies, and I love it when the ladies feel like they are more competent and more confident, and things like this actually promote that and do that. So that's
awesome.
Really all for that.
For sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Are you going to more?
We will be at more. I'm not. I don't pay to camp in parking lots. So we aren't camping out there. We'll probably go out maybe Saturday and then either stay out in the woods somewhere Saturday night or something like that.
Urban camping in Springfield is an experience.
We hung out last year with some of those guys, and I just
You hear more sirens, you hear more. It's like a street race all the
Right.
time,
All
and
night.
sirens, and can't get any sleep whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well, and over along the backside there, there's it's really populated over on the backside of where the camping is.
Yeah.
Lots of
Lots of noise.
lots
Just
of
street noise.
lots of homeless.
lots of
Oh. Okay.
homeless people. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
They
homeless
be-
on one side and the interstate on the other. So you got
Yeah.
best of both
Yeah.
worlds.
But we'll for sure be up there walking around and checking it out and see what's going on. At least probably Saturday for sure. So.
Well, good.
Right on.
It'll be good to see you.
Any big trips?
Our big trip that we kind of have in the books this year is we're gonna go back to Colorado for the fall. If you've never been, you're missing out. But
It's one of my faves.
right, that kind of last week of September, first week of October, we'll go back out to the San Juans. It's just heaven on earth out there. It really
Speaking my
is.
language.
Right.
Yes.
So, but this year, the first year Lance and I went, we stayed at a state park because we really had any idea what we were doing. We had our ground tent. We just kind of base camped out of there, and it was fine. We didn't have complaints out of it. But the next year we went, we were a little bit more set up for overlanding, but not fully ready to go. So we did camp with some other friends of ours that were not. So we stayed at the KOA there in Ouray. But this
That's a
year,
great place.
it really is.
Yeah.
But this year we're backcountrying it. That's how it's gonna be. We're gonna do it this year.
Yes.
So we're ready.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
the dude that manages the KOA in Ouray, he's from Springdale.
He's from Springdale.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
mention
they were
you're from Arkansas, he'll give you the best spot there.
Nice.
Yeah.
He will.
Nice. Yeah,
Little-
they were
little
super
pro
nice
tip.
people. They were really accommodating there, but yeah, we're ready this time. So
Right on.
we'll be backcountrying it.
Do you think you're going to do the Big Bend trip with Oki in December?
We're kind of kicking it around. It's kind of a short trip, really, and I don't know that it's gonna be long enough, but we'll see. Lance just started
like a
a new
week.
job.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's right at Christmas, and there's just a lot kind of going on right there.
Okay.
There is.
Yeah.
So because we would have to leave like Christmas Day, I think, if we were gonna go down there. But Lance just started a new job a few weeks ago, really. So I don't know if he's gonna have time, but we'll just have to kind of see how that one goes.
Right. Yeah.
But we will be at Robert's Cave with Oki in May for sure. I know that Moore's kind of their April camp out, but then Robert's Cave is in May. So we'll be at that one for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that. I've never been to Robert's Cave.
Me either.
It's actually really neat. I made him hike it last year, and I heard nothing but griping and pissing and moaning the entire way up there.
Is it a bad hike?
No.
No?
No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay. All right.
But.
Well, it also bad depends on
relative,
how good a shape
right?
you're
It's
in.
relative.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
It is
relative.
like,
Make sure you wear the right shoes.
Hey.
Yeah, right.
It is a little rocky, and it is kind of uphill to get to where the cave is, but it's not like I'd hike that over Pam's Grotto hike any day. So.
Yeah.
I don't understand Casey's question there. How many people can you fit in a Shih Tzu?
I think she means in a Zuzu, the little stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I think last time we clown carred like 13 people in that thing. We had it like to the frame, bottomed out.
Gracious.
At Robert's Cave, we all climbed in there to go back because I mean it's like I don't know, like a mile back there or something like that. So you drive the road back to where the trailhead is, and we were all loaded up in an Isuzu.
That's
what
funny.
What changes do you have in the near future for the Jeep?
For my Jeep, I am going to be upgrading the rack pretty soon, I believe. Unsure yet if I'm going to do the backbone or if I think Front Runner has something that's pretty similar. Be one of those two. The SRC rack was a great starter point for me, but you can actually you can really kind of see it shifting and whatnot on there, and I feel a little bit like a turtle. So I'm kind of hoping to get that tent lowered just a little bit, and that'll probably be my next big upgrade for it.
That's a good one. I started out, my rack was homemade.
Yeah.
And then I upgraded to the backbone from Rhino Rack, and I'm on my second one, and it's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been amazing because I shaved off my first one was homemade steel. I shaved off about 80 pounds when I went to the Rhino
and that
Rack.
SRC rack it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I don't exactly. I mean, it's pretty heavy.
That's a huge difference.
It really is. So I'm really hoping to get it down a little bit. The only thing that I'm kind of like on the fence about with them is that they have like the half rack. So like the Rhino rack has the kind of the back half, and then the same thing with the Front Runner rack. They're kind of similar. and I've got the Kabari, so it goes across the full top of the Jeep.
Right.
Kyle says it's be all right because that's where your feet are at, so I guess I'm gonna have to trust him. But
yeah, it depends on unless you sleep with your head down at the shallow end,
which we don't.
Well, we don't either.
Lance is 6'3". He ain't gonna fit down that way.
I have the Kabari as well, and I absolutely love that tent.
I do have no complaint. Well, I have one complaint, but I do really like it.
Love it. I have one of the very first ones that came out. In fact, I have one of the very first ones that was shipped to Arkansas, and I've got, gosh, there's no telling how many nights I got in that thing, and I absolutely love it. It's so pop up, put down, easy. It's amazing.
Yep. Yeah. And we pulled out the factory mattress that came with it, and we just have the Lost Horizon mattress in there, so I can fit my pillows, the bedding, everything in there, ready to roll.
Same here. We love it. Well, that's good. We're kind of, Tony, you got anything else? Because we're kind of on the tail end of this interview here. She's got the fire blazing in the back, and I can see she's pretty warm.
No, I'm just sitting here staring.
Toasty.
I can see it. There it is. There it is. Yeah.
Well, Jessie, anything else you want to put out there? Any last words you want to put out there for ladies who might be on the fence about coming with you, and maybe a little scared to go by themselves? What would you say to them?
Shoot, buckle up and show up. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Buckle up and show up. We'll get you through it. If I won't get you through it, if I can't, for whatever reason, walk my happy butt to the back to help you get you through something, I guarantee you there will be somebody that will.
You had a lot of capable ladies there with you.
Absolutely. And even ones that hadn't overlanded, they still had off-road, what's the word I'm looking for?
Experience.
There it is. Off-road experience. So I wasn't worried about that part at all, but I will not hesitate to jump in with somebody or whatever they need to do to feel comfortable and make it happen. We doing it.
Yeah.
Just go.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Right on.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you had so many that put the fears behind them and go out there with you. And when people do that and they experience it, and then you have nothing but positive comments, that should be an encourager to anybody out there that wants to go, whether you just bought your Jeep today or you've had it for 10 years or whatever. Sure. It's a rewarding experience that will create memories, and you just need to go.
Conquer it, man. Conquer it and feel the endorphin rush.
You betcha. And make new friends while you're at it. So that's pretty cool. That's right. Well, Jessie, thank you for coming on here with us. We have truly enjoyed having you on here. And for your very first live show, you have done an amazing job. I just want to
thanks.
Thumbs up from the Bro
Fest. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you being on here. And on behalf of Tony and myself, Professor Bats and Friends, thank you for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful week. Get out there where you can. Hey, get out there and go on a ladies' trip. I can't do it, but maybe you can. And while you're out there, look out for number 1. Don't step at number 2. Have an amazing day.